DeAsia works her way downhill. Righty scoop shot off glass and down. DeAsia Fair is fifth all by herself in the women's scoring. History record books, passing Brittany Griner.
There's a lot going on for the person that's the #1 scorer that had ever done this thing, but not many people are saying anything about who's 5. Her name is DeAsia Fair, and she became something really special.
Growing up in Rochester, New York, DeAsia Fair was the oldest of 4 children and was constantly helping to take care of her younger siblings. She didn't take basketball seriously until middle school. Eventually, Fair caught the eye of then University at Buffalo head coach Felicia Leggett-Jack.
I was not highly recruited coming out of high school. I think it was because I didn't play for, those big time or any of the big time AAU circuits.
The 11th grade is when she came to our camp, and she's 5'2" on a good day. She started playing and running and moving, and I said, you know what? These other campers, they're not as talented as her. So I said, let's check ball with her. Back then I was playing ball a lot, so we played 2-on-2. I couldn't guard her. I'm like, who's recruiting you?
There were a few offers after they announced that I got an offer from her that, rolled in after a while, but she's the one that invested in me and really saw me for me. Just the belief she had was something that no one ever, other than my family, of course, no one ever presented to me.
She actually made a commitment to us, and I said, I promise you, you got me for life.
The bond between player and coach grew for 3 seasons at Buffalo. But in 2022, after Fair's junior year, Coach Leggett-Jack accepted a new head coaching job at her alma mater, Syracuse. While in the transfer portal, Fair was getting calls from some of the top schools in the country. And for the first time, the strength of their bond would be tested.
The top school that I got offered from was South Carolina, of course. I had UConn, I had Iowa.
So at the end of that process, she came to my office and sat in the corner of the chair and said, Coach, I just need you to make certain you're taking care of me. And I'm like, of course I'm taking care of you. Wherever you go, you got me for life.
In the back of my mind, I felt like we weren't done. Just because they want you now doesn't mean that's where you belong.
Fair decided to stay with her coach and transferred to Syracuse.
Fair picks Hidalgo's pocket and gets the layup. Fair, floater, got fouled and the basket.
I look at her as like a mother figure for sure.
Their unwavering connection was on display in the fall of 2023, when Leggett-Jack had a medical scare that would have her absent from the team for the majority of October.
I go check my eyes, and my eyes are going through some stuff, and I'm like, I can't see without turning my head. Well, that triggered an MRI, and the MRI said that I had a brain tumor, and that we had to move fast. Well, I have surgery, and then I can't see. And it's emergency now. This is real stuff, and we had to have another surgery. But when I go home and I stand up, I feel like my brain is falling out of my head. It's called a leaky brain, and I don't know the technical word for it, but I have to go back to the hospital and get a 3rd surgery. So now I'm back in the hospital for another 10 days or so.
What she was going through back then, for me, it was hard. Not knowing, like, when she'd come back, even if she would come back, was something that, I've never gone through with her over the 5 years. And it was hard. But we had to, figure out how to keep going.
These young ladies, I didn't want them to see me like in the hospital and everything. But one kid can't keep her away, who knocking on my door, DeAsia Fair. And I said, D, you don't need to see me like this. But she was strong enough to handle it. I was the weakest I've ever been, and I needed her to be the adult. And she was. She came in there, They give me all this hospital food. I said, D, I need a slice of pizza, man. She brought a whole pizza in there. We didn't talk about no sickness. We didn't talk about no tumors. We talked about just house practice. And the neat thing about that is that where my hospital room was, you open up the curtain, you can see the dome. And I thought about I got to get back to those kids, right?
Felicia Leggett-Jack back on the sideline. She left the team for surgery. Now she's back, and she told us her prayers were answered, and she's very fortunate to be sitting on the bench here inside the dome.
Any game that we play it's just special only because I know what we've been through, and I know the fight that we had to get to here.
It was just so many thoughts and emotions going, but having her back was really good for us. It was really good for me, and we needed it.
That's the kid that really is different from anybody I've ever coached.
I played for her.